So what's an example of incomplete billing data in a bill you get from, Verizon or AT&T for your WAN or internet or voice services? So for me, a really memorable example was I worked with a client and they had a ton of different bills from Verizon primarily. And one of their bills was for about $7,000 a month. And they said, oh, this bill is super, super important. We don't want anything bad to happen here. So I took a look at it, and it was interesting because it was for $7,000 a month, but it was basically like one page, maybe two. There wasn't really any information except how much it was for and that it was from Verizon, and that was basically it. So that's a really good example of incomplete billing data. And but often we'll see other things like we don't know what the location is, etc. And so the reason why this was important though was that when you got the bill details as to exactly what all the billing line items were, which rolled up to a $7,000 a month charge, when you got a list of those and then you looked into them, you'd then discover that a lot of the services were services which weren't really being used anymore. So I'd say about 50% of the bill was for services serving their headquarters, which was definitely super important. And at their headquarters, they have a WAN and internet connections and all those good things. And then other parts of the services for other locations were in other bills. So that's a really good example because $3,500 a month of the bill you didn't need to pay for. Like if you stopped being billed for those services and those services went away, you wouldn't even notice. And it wouldn't affect quality of service or anything because they weren't being used for anything. But the other half were really important. So it was an important bill, but only half the bill was actually important. So this is a good example of the problems with that and with bills which you get from providers, and depends on the bill, absolutely. And then it also explains why it's so important for us to go in and get billing data from the actual billing portal and get the real data from the vendor. And the bill's sort of a result of the underlying billing data. So we really are all about digging into the underlying billing data, which is in the telecom vendor systems. So hopefully that's helped give some insights. I'm Anders Mikkelsen with Berlin Pacific. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm on LinkedIn, and our website is berlinpacific.com. And if we can do anything to help, you're spending a lot of money on telecom, please reach out to us. We'd love to see if we can do anything to advise you on things you could do on top of what you're already doing to save money. And we also offer done-for-you service. Look forward to talking to you. Please leave a comment or share with anyone this might be helpful to. Bye-bye.